Hi, Rob Brown here, and welcome to another edition of Tech Talks with the wonderful Jeremy Hyman. Jeremy, let's talk today about project selection. When I say that phrase, what does that mean in your dictionary of life and business?
Well, project selection is about choosing what to do, or possibly what to do and when to do it.
Okay, so this is very strategic, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. It's recognizing that everyone wants to do everything, but not everything can be done. And so how do we choose what we should do, and of the things that we choose to do, when we should do them?
And I'm reminded of that Italian phrase, I don't know who said it, but we can do anything, but we can't do everything.
Yes, that's a good phrase. Yeah,
and
I can say that.
It's a case of being ruthless, isn't it?
Professional service firms have got to be ruthless about what is worth doing and what is not worth doing, because it's as easy as anything to say, why don't we do this? And, oh, this seems like a good idea, why don't we do that? And very quickly, you get buried in requests to do everything and actually end up doing nothing at all because you just don't have the capacity to do it. So what you need to do really is make the bar just a bit higher in order to initiate a project. It's quite important to make it a bit harder to start something off.
So you're talking about being more rigorous with the decision-making process of deciding what to put on the table and actually talk about.
Absolutely. There have to be some rules, and there has to be a sort of a minimum threshold that the person proposing a new project gets across in order to give it some traction, some inertia to get it going. They have to be able to demonstrate, even at quite a basic level, why this project should be done. Yeah. Otherwise, it's easy, isn't it? I just ring you up, Rob, and say, oh, could you do this? Oh, next day, could you try that? And you'll never get anything done. But if I've got to do a bit of work before I can give you that instruction, then we are creating a bit of a throttle to make sure that the projects are valuable.
And you and your team consult to professional firms globally, Jeremy. You must have come across situations where firms have said yes to too many things. What does that end up looking like for a firm?
Disappointing, I would say, is how it ends up looking. Expensive. You can always tell when it's happening because there will be too many projects that have never been completed, or projects that have lost their way. People have forgotten why they ever started them. The people that initiated them have long since left. The goals of the projects are lost in the midst of time and are never going to be completed. So all of these are kind of telltale signs that there wasn't enough rigor in project selection and initiation.
And you haven't even mentioned the lost efficiency, the lost profits, revenues, the disillusionment of staff, the disengagement, all of those softer elements.
Absolutely, yes. We should get you on a marketing video, shouldn't we? Like, these are all the things that could go wrong. But yeah, it is. The hidden cost, if you like, of a failed project is huge. But actually, those aren't the ones that bother me. The ones that bother me most are the zombie projects, the ones that have just been going on forever, and no one knows why, and there are no definite deliverables. There isn't really a framework for pricing of time of anything, and those projects are anathema to a successful firm.
Well, it's useful to make a quick distinction here. There's project management gone wrong, which is where you make the right decision but handle it in the wrong way. But then there's going back before that, making the wrong decision to do something you never should have done.
Yeah. And that's where the ruthlessness comes in. It is the ability to stand and say, this is a great idea, it's a great project, we're not doing it. And we have a very simple set of criteria, actually. Reasons to not do a project and reasons to do a project.
Okay, talk to us more about, the bad reasons for doing a project.
Well, the two worst reasons by a country mile are, number one, vendor pressure. So the vendor says, we've got this new bit of software, we've got this new way of doing things, it's great, you should do it.
Yeah.
Right? The vendor is not interested in you, the vendor is interested in the vendor. So, bad reason. I'm not saying you shouldn't look at things that vendors suggest, but if that's the only reason to do it, I would treat it with some suspicion.
And on that, firms are attracted by silver bullets and shiny new toys, aren't they, sometimes? And the vendors sell those well.
Yeah, I am too, but that's for me buying a new iPad, not me spending £100,000 on a new CRM.
So that's one bad reason, the vendor pressure. What's the other bad reason you see projects going forward?
Peer pressure. So managing partners come back to a board meeting and say, such and such a firm bought this, it's brilliant, we should have it. So number one, the other firm may or may not have made a success of it. In my experience, firms usually talk up how well a project has gone rather than be totally honest. Yeah. And also, even then, maybe it works for them, maybe it doesn't work for us. Certainly doing something just because another firm did it is not a good reason.
Yeah, very good. So they're the bad reasons. What are the good reasons why a project should get the green light?
I think there are three that I always bring people back to. Well, four. The first one is not really a reason, it's just necessity. We have to do something because something is broken, or there's a regulatory change or compliance requirement. It's not really a reason in the constructive sense, but it is an overriding reason.
Yeah.
But the three commercial ones that we always look at are very simple. One is efficiency. So is this project going to make us do what we do faster, better, less time, lower grade of person, robot, something that basically makes it cheaper to deliver the same service that we're doing at the moment. The second one is growth. So it is something that if we do it, will immediately expand the size of our business. It will allow us to win more clients or more services sold to those clients, or stop us losing clients out the other end. The third one is capability. A project which adds a new capability to our firm, something that we couldn't do before, but now we can. And therefore we can differentiate. And if we can differentiate, we can win work, or we can retain our work, or whatever it's going to be. Yeah. So efficiency, growth, capability. If a project does one of those three, let's do it.
Yeah, and finally, Jeremy, looking at all of this objectively, it's difficult for managing partners and board level people to make good strategic decisions around stuff like this, which I guess is why they bring you in, isn't it?
That was it. Yes, I knew there was a reason. I was chatting with you. Absolutely right. Yeah, we are good at all of the above, but also remember, we don't come from within the firm.
Yeah, they get too close to it sometimes, don't they?
Absolutely. We don't have any baggage. We can say what we think about which project should be done and which
You're vendor agnostic.
We're vendor agnostic, and we see what has worked at other firms. And so we have both the benefit of vendor agnosticism and also deep market knowledge. And between those two, we can usually help a firm make the right choice.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Jeremy Hyman, thanks so much for your time today on Tech Talks.